It happened. It happened. Bad Piggies 2 is finally out on iOS devices in Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Poland, Norway, and the Netherlands. Surprised it wasn't released in the US or Canada though, as the new Angry Birds game is always soft launch in those two. Also, you may have noticed that my home country, the United Kingdom, was not on that list. But I still managed to get the game legally. How did I pull this off? Well, I changed my country location in settings in the App Store. You can do this too, and it's very easy. Just make sure you don't have any payment stuff connected to your account, or you're not part of an iCloud family. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it. If you do have one of those things, you can just get rid of them, change your country, get the game, change back, and then get those things back, and then there you go. But anyway, so I've played over 20 levels of this game, and what do I have to say about it? Well, honestly, this game is really fun. The gameplay is very similar to the original, but with minor differences. For example, the original game has it so you can build anything you want with the parts provided. This game, however, has limits to what you can put and where, so it's slightly easier, I'd say. The way things work are different too. The soda bottles release instantly in this game, unlike the original, where it takes a second after pressing the button. You also can't fire one separately in the game. In the first, if you had multiple soda bottles or rockets or any similar things like that, but only wanted to release one of them, you could just tap the one you wanted to release and it would release and the others would stay normal. In the sequel though, to launch them you have to launch them all at the same time. Even the ones facing different directions, they all need to go off at the same time, which is a bit annoying. They should change that. Another thing that is very annoying is in the original, when building your vehicle, you could just drag the parts you wanted, but you could also tap the part and then tap it on the grid where you wanted that part to go, to make it much easier. In the sequel, however, you can only drag the parts to the grid, and boy does this need some getting used to from me, as I always tap the parts and tap them on the grid, as it's just way easier. So if anyone at Review is watching this, please add it so I can tap the part and tap the grid, because it's just so much easier and way less time consuming. Another thing that's really annoying is that there is a game-breaking bug in the game that developers know are there and are working to fix it. It's a bug where when you've built your vehicle and press tick to play the level, an error message will appear, and it will beat you to the menu. And now this wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the energy system. Yes, this game has an energy system, and it costs 15 energy per level. And if you have this bug happen to you, you won't get your energy back, so you've just wasted 15 energy on nothing. Levels are handled differently in this game. In the original, there'd be a certain amount of levels in an episode. In this game, they are all on one menu. And it's got a similar thing to Angry Birds 2, where some levels have multiple rooms with different level layouts, which I like. The way restarting a level is implemented is also good. You get 10 retries per level, including all the rooms in that level. And if you use them all up, you fail and have to play the level again. This is there because of the energy system. I'm so glad they didn't do what most games do, which is one retry takes away more of your energy. 10 retries is more than enough. Now that's just the saga mode, as it's called. There's also a city mode, where other pigs come to you for supplies for their vehicles, so you have to spend your snout coins to make the parts they requested. There's also a mode in the city area which is basically cake race, only you're not racing anyone, and instead of collecting cakes you get to the end. There are two currencies. There's snout coins, which debuted in Bad Piggies 1, and they are what you pay your pig worker with so he makes the parts. There are also these generic looking gems, which is just what you use to rush him with. Unlike snout coins, you can buy these with real money. You also get 5 every time your pig moves up a level though. Not like a level in the saga, levels in like the level ranking system, as that's also something in this game, but it's not really anything to worry about, as you don't get anything past level 3, which is easy to obtain, so not really worth noting down. There is something strange about these gems though, is that in Bad Piggies 1, it got an update last year which added a new currency called Snout Gems, which basically serve no function. They may as well not have been added in the first place. You'd assume that they were added to the Bad Piggies 1 to unify it with the sequel, so they both have the same currency, so fans can associate Snout Coins and Snout Gems with the Bad Piggies brand, and they can associate Bird Coins with the Angry Birds brand, but no, in Bad Piggies 2 it's just generic looking gems which look just like the Angry Birds 2 ones, so what's the point? Why not just have it as Snout Gems in Bad Piggies 2? The game also has a story. It's not massive, but it's still there and I like it. Ross, the pig from the first game and Leonard's right-hand man from the Angry Birds movie, is an older piggy now, and is going to go on holiday, so he is showing his nephew, the pig the player played as, how to do Bad Piggy stuff and run his factory while he's away. Interestingly, he says, alright, that's it, I'm going to go on my holiday now. And then he just sticks around, giving you hints, and is at the end of every level, so I guess he just doesn't end up going on his holiday then. Now let's talk about the graphics. They look great. Movie designs and everything. While I'd have preferred tunes, just like any of you, the movie ones do look nice here. And the 3D graphics really give it a modern look. And they look great. Especially seeing as this is a mobile game that's only in soft launch and hasn't even fully been finished yet. There are only 57 levels in total in this game, which isn't a lot, but there doesn't need to be a lot right away. It's only soft launched, and it's obviously not in every country yet, and it's not finished yet, so there doesn't need to be over 100 levels, because it just isn't needed in the game right now, you know? Like, it doesn't need a whole lot of levels. And plus, because it's a new game, I wouldn't be overwhelmed with trying to be over 100 levels in this game, especially with that energy system. Like, I mean, if, to be honest, now I'm thinking about it, if they do have the energy system in the game going forward, like, it's just gonna make it a pain to complete. They gotta get rid of it or something. Like, it's such a bad idea having an energy system in a bad Piggies game. It doesn't need to be here. At least make it like a life system, like in Angry Birds 2. So if you fail a level, you know, like lose hearts or whatever. Not an energy system, just so bad, honestly. Awful idea. Anti-consumer. Not a good idea. It really doesn't need to be there. Please, Revio, get rid of it. Also, previous levels consume energy as well, which I think's dumb. Like, if I want to replay an old level, I shouldn't have to spend my own energy on it. Like, I've already done that. I don't need to waste energy because I know what to do. Well, I mean, my pig would know what to do because he's already experienced Annie, so. And also, the game needs internet to play, which I don't get because there's no online mode and there's no ads in the game, so Rovio wouldn't be missing out on any revenue, so what's the point of it being online? I don't get that. It just makes less people going to want to play the game because someone might want to download the game and then they will want to play it, like, you know, like if they're a passenger in a car, example, with no internet, they'll see that the game needs internet and they'll be like, oh, this game needs internet. Well, I'm not going to play it at home, am I? Why would I do that? I'm not an Angry Birds fan. So then they would just delete the game and not play it, so I think having the game not require internet, I think that would probably be better and make the game more successful. So, but what do I know? The menu is also something I feel like could need working on, because right now as it is, it's just a bit bland, I would say. It's just a blue background with the cards of the levels, and it's just a bit bland. The way the original had it was so much better, with the main menu obviously having the pigs, like, in vehicles moving around with, like, you know, and it just was interesting. You could interact with them, like pressing the TNT and stuff, and it was funner. Whereas in this one, it's just the blue background, and yeah, it just looks more boring. And then you have the episode select, which obviously were animated with like the Groundhog Day with the pig in the car, When Pigs Fly with him with the balloon attached to his ear, you know, and they get all animated, you know, makes it more like comforting to see. Whereas with this one, it's just the exact same pictures for each level. Like, there's no difference, like, in the pictures. It makes it all look exactly the same, which it's not very good. I mean, again, obviously this game's in soft launch, and I would imagine so when the game releases fully, that these episode cards will be, well, not episode cards, level cards will be, you know, changed to be more unique, because as is right now, it just makes everything feel exactly the same. And these levels are not the same, they're all really unique and different, and they're really fun to play. It's just that the layout of the menu definitely could use some work. What I've noticed is that it makes it seem like another Angry Birds soft launch game, which makes it look like it's ripping off the Brawl Stars menu. Not as much as the other two, not as much as Racing or, what's it called, Kingdom, but it still reminded me of that a little bit. Obviously, like, it's not as bad because, like, the buttons aren't the same as Brawl Stars, and you can still see the blueprints on the back, which makes it more unique. But it just thought, you know, just every Angry Birds game is having the same sort of menu look with the same dark blue, and I don't like that. I don't want that. I want everything to feel more unique, especially looking at how the first game handled its menu. A lot of the stuff I said may make it sound like my feelings towards the game are negative, and that's really not true at all. The most important thing about a game is its gameplay, and as I've already stated, the gameplay is really fun, and I do love it, and obviously the graphics are great, the story is great, and the use of Ross in the story is amazing. Honestly, it's a good game. Overall, I'd probably rate it probably a 7 out of 10, maybe a 6.5, but if all those errors will be fixed, because let's be real, almost all these errors will be fixed because it's only in soft launch, and they're all no-brainer things to fix, aren't they? Like, I'm sure any normal game developer would want to fix a lot of these errors, wouldn't they? So, yeah, 7 out of 10, I think that's a fair ranking. Tell me what your thoughts on the game are in the comments below, subscribe and like the video. Goodbye.